There's the ogre DM.
I say something, and then it repeats in my earphones a second later, and then my mic picks that up, and then that repeats in my headphones a second later. And it is really distracting. Dice, note, calculator. It's all my shit open. All right. Welcome to this train wreck of a session so far, and there's already penises everywhere. As God intended.
The map that our party has already been defaced with penises.
Look, I don't want to play any game that doesn't have penises everywhere. So last time, you found yourselves having defeated Mr. Friendly and yeeting him into the sun, which was amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Made your way to the rest. Made the rest of the way to the Citadel Felbar, finding this massive dwarven fortress waiting for you, with this long bridge across this huge canyon and these huge gates closed that Dadrios you normally know to be open. There may or may not be penises all over the place. That's kind of still to be determined. But you found 4 heavily armored guards wearing Dadrios' religious symbol. Eyes blackened, just staring forward. Dadrios attempted to talk to them, but they immediately seemed hostile on contact, even though you prominently were displaying the Seraviv symbol to them. You tried a couple things, tried to maybe pull them to the side or take some non-violent approach. It didn't work. You did try. I'll give you all credit. You did try to not immediately murder everything, but it didn't seem like they were having it. So you murdered everything.
We solved it with dynamite.
Yeah, you did solve it with dynamite. When all else fails, blow it up.
Yeah. So currently we are at the force field or whatever, right?
Yes, you discovered there is an invisible dome that seems to be blocking physically and you could probably assume magically based on how teleportation has gone for you.
Okay.
The entire citadel. As of right now, y'all are kind of huddled on the bridge just right in front of this dome, just kind of boom, boom, trying to figure out what's going on.
All right, I don't know who read my suggestion or my idea in the players' chat, but I would like to cast Detect Magic to get a good look at the field for one.
Okay.
Is this just a really big tiny hut? Is this a large hut that he's casted? We just wait it out.
It's large hut.
Large hut. Immense hut.
I cast Gargantuan hut.
I feel inadequate about my hut.
You focus on it really hard, your hut gets like a little bigger.
You have hut envy. So yeah, you cast Detect Magic, and as expected, you immediately see this just glowing wall go up in front of you. This is evocation magic, similar to Tiny Hut, you would know.
Okay, so what I want to do is Detect Magic can penetrate up to 1 foot of rock and stone.
Okay.
So I want to look at an angle where the bridge is here and the barrier's here. I want to look at an angle this way to see if it penetrates the rock or if the rock is absent or if it doesn't go through the rock.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, see if it goes around the structures. You do kind of looking actually through the rock itself to see if maybe you could carve a hole through there. You do see the elements of the magic passing through the rock. Yes.
Okay. Well.
So it seems like it's just a perfect sphere around the place, right?
You peek over and kind of look over the bridge.
Dadrios can see it better because he's got full true sight.
True.
My shit only reaches.
Last time it's actually a circle. It doesn't go straight down around it.
It's a dodecahedron, if we're being totally honest.
Peering kind of over the bridge, looking down into the canyon, it does seem to continue to curve down into the canyon. Whether or not it connects all the way, you can't tell, but it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be like a cup. It does seem to be encompassing.
Okay, I have one more idea. Now that I'm right next to this thing, if I had to guesstimate about the diameter of this sphere, what would it be?
I don't know.
You could say it's like more than a mile, 17 miles. I don't need specifics, I need approximates. To the foot.
Hang on.
How big is mountain?
Yep.
Well, here, this may make it easier for you. Let me tell you what I'm thinking of doing.
Yeah, what are you trying to do? And I can just tell you yes or no.
I'm trying just to push my face through it. No, I'm kidding. I want to use Commune with Nature. Commune with Nature, again, now that I'm right in front of this thing, because it has a 3-mile radius.
Okay.
So what I want to try to do, I know the dome is a big black spot, or at least it was at the distance I was, but now, if I focus solely on structures around me, if I would see any cracks in the dome.
Okay.
Like, if there's any holes somewhere, there's a chance that there may be a weak spot or something. I'm hoping that I could use this piercing divination, like, set it over and maybe find, like, I think there's something over there we may be able to get through.
Okay. Yeah, at kind of a 3-mile out from you. Yeah, you definitely get hit with just kind of that wall that it can't penetrate you through, but you use that to your advantage, and you use the spell and talk to the life and the nature around you, and kind of even with the stone itself, you kind of communicate with and kind of feel along. And I would say over to, like, if you're, facing the front of the citadel, very far down and to the right, it almost feels like there's a dimple down there.
Dimple?
Kind of. It's a little hard to tell, but you feel this kind of smooth wall blocking you, but down there it feels like it's not as smooth.
So down in the canyon?
That's what it seems like.
Should I go investigate this first and see what I can see?
Sure. And then you're thinking if you do find something interesting, you come give us all eagles to ride or something?
Yep. I'm a raven.
Does anyone have like a change weather spell or like a lightning spell?
I get control weather eventually.
Okay.
What are you wanting?
Nothing.
Wait, do you say this out loud? You asked for lightning?
Yes, I'm asking for lightning.
I pull out a bottle and say, "Here you go."
Okay, here's my plan. It can't
just
possibly
lightning.
fail. It cannot possibly fail. All right, you ready? So,
Okay.
I step about 30 feet away from you as you say this.
so there's no way this can fail. Because, Frankie said, you need magic, strong magic, right?
Frankie is also stepping away from you as you're talking.
That's cool. That's cool. So, basically, I max buff my sword, get it on fire, right? Hold it up, ride Panda across the bridge, jump up. As I jump up, strike the sword with lightning, and I'll come down on the barrier. It'll work. Sarah B will see it. It'll be great.
He did dive off a bridge and do a group of dudes,
Exactly.
and he got the God's Justice, like, hammered down, so...
Like, I'll be riding across on Panda. There'll be power metal playing. Jump up, lightning will strike the sword. It's great.
Oh,
Okay.
That reminds me. Where's the music?
I can cast Shatter.
Ashling, you get the power metal going. Like, as he says this suggestion, the eagle's getting ready to take flight, then he's like... and he kind of turns around and, like sits to watch, like, yeah, I'll watch this.
Especially if we got Asling and Rygnerik doing inspiration and advice and all that.
She's playing power metal.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I can handle that.
She gets a harmonica.
Dulcimer metal.
Yeah.
Even if I take damage from the lightning, it's fine. It'll be cool.
So, I don't have lightning, but I do have Shatter. I can cast Shatter just as you go to strike. That'll look cool.
Okay. There is, for the record, dulcimer metal does exist, but I can't actually play it or I'll get a copyright strike.
Wow, that's fine.
However, this is supposed to be playing.
Ooh, hold on. Whoop! I turned back into a dwarf. Hold on a second. I go up to you and Panda, and I'm like, nah! And you both grow twice in size. I cast enlarge on you.
Does Frankie say anything in response to this whole plan?
She has taken about 100 feet back from the bridge and is just like, sure.
Is this how they solve all their problems?
Yeah.
I'm gonna suggest a crazy idea.
Can y'all hear the music?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If he has found a weak spot, like down near the bottom of this thing,
You can always check
maybe
that
you
out
should
later.
save your one bottle of lightning for crashing into that spot.
He said a dimple, but hold on a second. Let's play this one out first. We got a badass view on the bridge going up, and I just doubled him in size. He's like super Dadrios now and super Panda.
If this doesn't work, even if we get through the barrier, I can't guarantee we'll get through the gates. But it'll be cool. So
I could polymorph Panda into a Tyrannosaurus Rex, so you're riding a T-Rex through it.
that's
Yep.
cool.
You
That's
also
cool. I
only
like
got
that.
one bottle of lightning, so you can only get one try.
Technically, the lightning's optional, but how far away is a thunderstorm right now?
Fireworks. Oh, actually, hold on. I can Druidcraft and tell what the weather's going to be like for the next day.
You can. It is currently partly cloudy.
A chance of void.
There does not seem to be an immediate chance of epic thunder metal music in the weather.
Oh, well, you just wait a second, mister.
Naturally occurring within the next 24 hours.
Yeah. I already casted enlarge on you. So you just go like full fury. Yeah.
I'm casting magic weapon and also sacred weapon, and also
Sacred
flame
magic
sword.
weapon.
Yeah,
All you have to do is just touch it, but you're going flying through. That's the code.
the whole point is you have to look cool. That's the whole point.
Seravi would appreciate.
Exactly.
Who is doing the Rock Johnson?
I'm trying to get his favor on this one.
See, Wrath of Nature really should have lightning striking down in the vicinity too, but it does not.
Okay, so Dadrios,
So anyway,
give me your play-by-play,
so
and I'll give you the results.
I'm enlarged.
Mm-hmm.
I get on Panda,
And engorged.
right?
And
Well, before I get-
inspired.
I give Panda a fist bump. I jump up. I cast the buffs on my weapons, and I stare at the bridge. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get Seravi's blessing on this one. We're at we go back to the very beginning of the bridge,
Mm-hmm.
and Panda's going. We're picking up speed. I raise my sword up and ignite it with the fire. I don't know if he's actually gonna use lightning. It's fine if he doesn't. But then as we're going, as I get close enough, I feel like it's about right. I'm gonna jump up and hold it up, and then just slam down in the barrier.
Okay,
Power ballad.
roll
While she's...
roll
Oh,
a
God.
D100 for me.
Oh god.
He is enlarged, don't forget.
Okay.
Don't forget
That's
to
okay.
add your inspiration.
It doesn't
true.
matter for this.
Oh.
Are you using the lightning or not?
That's up to Rygnerik. We don't have to.
I mean, I handed you the bottle. It's totally up to you.
Dude, you could bust it on your own head because you're crazy.
If he's gonna use lightning, he used to use it right as I jump off, so it strikes the sword as I jump off.
Well, I mean, I handed you the bottle, so really your best bet would be like hook the bottle to the sword so that it.
Better. I'm gonna throw the bottle up and then cut it with the sword, so it ignites lightning as well.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Wearing
God.
sunglasses.
At least, I hope somebody will get a laugh out of this. Am I using the attack of my sword?
Yeah, your a normal sword attack. Let's see if you can. Okay, that's fine. Make sure you didn't miss the bottle.
Coming ahead.
The bottle has an AC of 20.
Okay, so Dadrios, on his Dadrios enlarged on his massive polar bear. In the background, you hear this.
Copyright. There it goes.
Yeah. Ashling gets this sick beat going, and you take a few steps back, and you boom, 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 start charging. You get up, you leap off Pandy, and you throw the lightning in the air, and you spin your sword, and you strike it straight down through, and this explosion of lightning and fire and divine energy comes out. You feel like this is definitely something that would please your god, but the normal touch of your god here feels muted.
They were getting something from the fridge.
Yeah.
You do something cool? Oh, dang.
Not like they're not looking, more like something is preventing them from seeing. And you slam your sword down, and 3 strikes of lightning shoot out in 3 different directions. I need you to roll...
Dex save.
Oops. Am I?
Slorth in the background.
Holy shit. Roll 10d8 for me.
10d8, alright.
It's alright. It's alright. From the pool. Oh wait, I can't hear you. Oh.
53.
Okay.
I'm kind of annoyed because my rolls are 63, 13, 53. All threes.
You slam the sword down, and you actually feel the tip sink into the barrier several inches as this lightning, and you can see, and now all of you see the barrier just light up in these like spiderwebbing veins out from the strike point as the lightning kind of shoots out in all directions, and you push the sword down, but it doesn't seem to penetrate further, and you fall down onto the ground. Everyone make a perception check.
That moment where I hit to roll 20 d8s instead of just changing it to a 20.
25?
26.
Okay. You all hear this from... actually, Dadrios doesn't. He's too involved with
Deafened
himself.
by his awesomeness.
Yeah. You hear a... "Ah!" from somewhere down in the canyon.
Like laughing?
No, like someone being electrocuted.
Someone down in the canyon?
Someone down in the canyon.
I quickly bust out. How many people need eagles? 1, 2, 3, 4. The pets.
I will say,
Alright.
Dadrios, for that move and what that D100 was, I gave you a chance to. I gave you a chance at divine intervention, but the roll didn't work out in your favor, unfortunately.
All right. So I hear something over there, like someone got electrocuted. I, at 5th level, cast Conjure Animals to get flying mounts for all of us.
Okay. Bunch of eagles appear.
You should probably hurry up and get down there.
Yeah.
Swoop down towards the sound. The sound you heard seems to be the same from the same direction you hear. You felt that kind of divot. So you all eagles mounted NPCs too, or just the main party?
There's enough. So I mean, there's going to be 8 of them. So
It's up to you.
We might as well take our followers.
Okay. Everyone jumps on, swoops down. You swoop down that direction, and Slorth, you know you're headed straight towards that divot. I'm not going to make you make another perception check, because the dwarf that was hiding down there is now sprawled out on the canyon floor with a small flame on his beard, just, like, twitching slightly. looking very fried. And thankfully, doesn't seem to be dead.
So that's a good thing.
We're flying down like, but guys, did it look cool?
It did look extremely cool.
I'm like, straight up, I wet myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
They're giant wasps, by the way, not giant eagles.
Sure.
How'd they get us there? Alright, I quickly land next to the dwarf. His eyes?
You look in his eyes. You kind of like reach over and kind of pry one of his eyes open, and his eyes look normal. Thankfully, they don't seem to be blackened, and he's kind of like, what?
We'll toss some prescription strength healing on him.
Okay.
Healing word. No, cure wounds at 4th level.
Okay.
Or actually, hold on. I can make better use. I cast Aura. No, we'll do. Sorry. 48 plus 4, and
Dadrios, DM inspiration for your epic dive.
I already have DM inspiration, but what?
then
Like,
she used it.
Well, use it!
I'm too stingy. I would have, but you said it wouldn't have mattered on that roll.
Not for the D100 roll now.
Yeah, but I would have.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, 24 health to him.
Okay, cool. As you cast the spell, he kind of the twitching subsides a little bit, and he kind of like opens his eyes and blinks, and looks around. Oi! Who the bloody hell are you lot?
You cut out.
You're too loud, so you cut out.
Who the bloody hell are you lot? Kind of. Was that okay?
Is he wearing Seraviv gear or not?
He is not. He is wearing normal, almost kind of patchwork together looking armor. Laying next to him on the ground is a large battle axe. And you do notice some scorch marks on his hands.
I don't see any insignias from him, or of his clan, or his tribe, or...
Make a perception check.
Perception.
I'm sorry. Well, perception or investigation. I'll let you decide.
Always going to be perception.
Okay. You do not. It seems like the armor he is currently wearing looks scavenged. It's kind of like the chest piece doesn't match the shoulder, it doesn't match, the arm piece. It looks really kind of put together.
Okay. Alright. I introduce myself, and introduce us, and I'm like, why were you damaged when we attacked the barrier around this mountain?
He kind of like gets up on a knee, and as he kind of gets up, and you can kind of see, he looks like a built dwarf. Like, most dwarves are pretty stocky. He's got some muscle to him. And he kind of like reaches out, grabs his axe, and kind of puts it on the ground, and kind of uses it to stand up. It's like, he kind of lifts it up and throws it over his shoulder and kind of grabs it and looks at y'all. Not attacking, just kind of like, who the hell are you, It's like, what? I was leaning on the barrier, and then the lightning bolt came down and hit me axe. Who are all you?
We're here to unfuck the situation in there.
His hair is all... Oh! Well, you're here to help! Still kind of like blinking. His eyes kind of scans the group, and he immediately locks eyes on Dadrios and what Dadrios is wearing.
I shrink Dadrios back down.
Yeah, feels a little better shrunk, but yeah, he immediately sees what Dadrios is wearing, and you see him kind of like immediately get on guard, and actually takes a step back from him, and it's like, you do the chair thing.
I do the chair.
Don't mind if I do.
So yeah, what's up? You wanna talk?
As soon as you whip out the chair, he
Here we
immediately
go.
relaxes.
Good man. I like this guy.
And is like, "Oh, thank heavens!
I like
I
how
was
that's a
worried
litmus
you were
test.
one of them zombie things. Ain't none of y'all left." He kind of puts the axe down. Oh,
Yeah, we killed 4 of those other ones.
yeah, you probably did them a favor. Don't worry about that.
I wasn't.
There ain't any life left in those guys. Where did you come from? You didn't come from within the city, did you?
No.
I technically did a long time ago, a couple months ago.
Well, tell you what, if you're here to help, we could use it.
Who's we?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Sorry, a little bit of electricity to the brain kind of threw off my manners. I am Yarform Greyhorn. My family's lived in this city for, generations. Rumor has it they were one of the first dwarves to build this rock. And he kind of, like, points at a thing and is like, my great-grandpapa, and, like, kind of goes off on a tangent on the architecture
Your
for a second.
great-grandpa really liked dicks, didn't he?
Yeah, you know what? He was kind of weird like that. Like, if you look over there, you can see the balls right there. And
Did
you
y'all
really
see that
got
one right there? Spitting image, I'll tell you.
It's like, yeah, I've been... Go ahead.
Because now that he's been talking for a minute, I want to know if his class level is higher, lower, or the same as mine.
I feel like Rygnerik is kind of insecure.
What's his virility like?
He is lower than you.
Okay. And do I divine any of his history or personality trait?
You do.
Chatty.
He's from here, actually. You can tell by just the mannerisms and especially the way he looks fondly on the dicks on the wall. He was definitely born and raised in the Citadel Felbar. And he's kind of going off and he's like, "Oh yeah, sorry, getting distracted. Yeah, I'm with the rebellion, or at least helping the rebellion out. I'm a little bit of a fighter, but not compared to what's in there. I've been trying to get people out of the city."
Okay, so is there a way to get into the city?
I
I sensed a possible entrance.
You sensed right. There is a way in. It is not fantastic, though. See, whatever the hell that is in the city took over, it brought a bunch of, like, crap with it. But on the plus side, one of the things it brought with it was this really, really big worm. And it's been kind of... Normally it'd be a problem because it's been kind of tunneling around under the city. But it actually popped out a hole over here. And I've been using it to get, women and children and just people that don't need to be in there out of the city.
How many people are still in the city? Survivors.
Within the city itself, I hate to say, majority of the population's still in there, but I don't know if I'd call them survivors. They're in pretty bad state. As for the little rebellion we got going, and just kind of the people we've managed to kind of pull out and aside, there's only about 20 of us. About a third of that is non-combatants.
You went from Scottish dwarf to Gruff McConaughey real
Don't-
quick.
Don't put any... I have no idea what accent I'm doing. Don't worry about it.
We'll fix it in post.
I'm gonna walk up and kind of put my hand on her shoulder. Tell it to me straight. What's the situation? What's happening?
Oh, yeah, it's real bad. Okay, so you're from here, right? I assume you got the...
Born and raised.
Fantastic.
Right.
What's the last thing you know out of the city here?
the last thing I left, I feel like this thing was just starting, and you know the guys up there with the black eyes.
Yep.
That had just started, and I left to find out why. That
You
had just started when I
got out just in time, my friend. Not long after this whole thing started, something took up residence in the main hall. Something weird. They closed the doors. People started getting real sick and acting real weird, and then not acting like themselves at all. And then these, like, puppet things took over the city. It started just showing up everywhere. Any kind of pushback we tried to give as things got worse. If the black eyes didn't get you, the puppets did. It's been kind of a losing battle on our end, to be honest.
While they're talking, I'm going to start a detect magic going and take a look around the area, and I guess his weapon and him too.
Sure. The only thing magic you detect on him is 2 health potions. His weapon is not magical. You detect the barrier, of course. Nothing else magical in the area other than y'all stuff within your range.
Why did you say that the entrance is not great?
The tunnel?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the tunnel's fine as long as that big old worm don't see you. Then it, eats you, which is a real downer.
I look at the diameter of the tunnel to try to see, like, could we walk standing upright in it no problem?
Yeah, he kind of, as y'all are talking, he'll lead you over to the tunnel, and you can see it's a mostly round tunnel. There's, like, some crappy camouflage he obviously did himself with, like, some rocks and some twigs, and, like, the camouflage makes it more conspicuous than if it was just a hole. And, you still have Detect Magic up, so you would see this. You actually see the barrier has this, like, chewed look to it around the tunnel. It still encompasses most of the tunnel, but there's a, like, 5-foot kind of gap in the barrier itself, and then there's a 10-foot diameter tunnel behind that.
You know, we didn't try eating it, so that's on us.
True.
It's like, yeah, that worm is definitely from some other dimension or something, and he must have chewed on this thing for a while, but I guess he wanted out bad enough, and hey, we want out too, so it works out, except for him eating us part. That part's a downer. But we got this hole here now, so hey!
So he chewed halfway through and then gave up?
Yeah, I don't think he could get all the way out, but he, made this little opening at least.
So, do you all, you called yourselves the Rebellion, do you all have a plan?
Right now, the plan is to get the women and the children and the people that don't want to die out, and then the people that do want to die, which is usually your type, and he kind of points to Dadrios. We're still, formulating a strategy.
I describe... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
How many other people that want to die are in your group?
About
Paladins are in your group.
About 8 or 9.
Something.
A couple of them are in bad shape. Had a few bad run-ins. Gonna be honest, the worm ate a few of them. Yeah.
I describe and name... I forgot her name. The one from Silver... wherever.
Yeah.
One of the 7 sister ladies.
Yeah, he's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I seen her. You know what? Right about after because things were going weird, right? And then she showed up, and she went into the big hall to check it out, and never came out. And things kind of got a lot worse after that. I mean, she seemed nice. I I don't think she's the problem, but I think she's maybe involuntarily contributing to the problem. Would be my guess.
You haven't seen her since?
No one's seen her come out of there.
I want to... Well, I asked the group. I kind of want to peek my head in there and see if I could scry on her. And see where she is, or if she knows that I'm scrying, she'll know that she can maybe give us a signal or something.
Yeah, plus see what you can see while you're in there, I guess.
Go for
Anyone
it.
have any? No one has any objections to that?
Nope, go
Good.
for it.
All right, I kind of get on the other side of the barrier.
Mm-hmm. Did you have to step through?
And I guess begin the 10-minute casting of
Okay.
scrying with my little owl crystal ball.
Okay. You kind of settle down. You take out your owl orb and perform the ritual, and you feel your mind kind of taken away and go into this orb. And normally, when you scry on someone, you always know there's a chance of resistance, and you can kind of feel that little veil you have to push through, or if it rejects you, or if you get through it. You don't feel any resistance. Like this lady you're scrying on doesn't have the ability to resist you. You see the image comes to you, and you see this once beautiful elven woman, and she has her arms up in kind of a Y with these black chains coming off of them, with her back against her pillar, this big, thick, marble-looking pillar, and you can't see where the chains lead, but her arms they're stretched out, just taut, and you can see the shackles just cutting into her hands with old dried blood running down her arms. Same thing with her legs. You see a shackle on each leg pulled down taut with just old blood trickled down the feet. You see coming out of the pillar this almost insect-looking claws, black claws that are curved around, and you look closer and they look almost like raven talons grasping her, and they are piercing into her skin. And as you kind of get closer and watch, you with your ability to kind of see and understand magic, and especially with how much you deal in healing magic and life force, you can feel the energy being drawn out of her through these claws. Her eyes are closed and her head is down. She doesn't appear to be conscious. You watch this for about 10 minutes without any change. She does seem to be alive, barely. Her skin is kind of grayed looking and is kind of sucked in, like she's like a starving person, and it's just got this sickly look to her. And after about 10 minutes, the scry ends.
I relay that message, or I relay what I saw to everyone.
Dadrios, make an intelligence check.
Oh boy.
Okay, that's good enough.
Oh, okay.
Just
Take it.
yeah, you got over 10. It's not a real high difficulty. Just from Slorth describing the scene, and from what he saw, the massive pillar that this woman seems to be strapped to, the only place you can think of off the top of your head that even has pillars that large is within the main hall.
I'm guessing that's not close to where we are.
It's within the city.
Yeah. Let me my note here because I do have a note. Kind of where it is, I think. Yeah, it's in the innermost wall. Basically. So, pretty deep in the city.
All right. Based on my magical knowledge and everything,
Sure.
I'd probably guess she doesn't have a whole lot more time left.
Yeah, just from your just experience, she's looking pretty bad. She looks real drained. You don't know exactly how much time she has left, but she is definitely not going to survive if this keeps up.
Well, if we want any chance of retiring over in Silvertown, we should probably save her first.
Well,
She may have some insight.
Why don't we meet his Paladin friends and lead in a mighty troop of cannon fodder to...
Hey, now, wait a minute.
Or have them cannon fodder distraction while the sneaky of us go in and get her out. Because I can always polymorph after we cut her free. I can polymorph her into, a rat, stick her in a bag, and we can get the heck out of there real quick. It's assuming there's not some horrible thing, between there and us.
If you turn her into a rat, can I carry her?
If we're going in stealth, I think it'll just be me and Rygnerik, if I'm being perfectly honest.
So, also, real quick, what was the dwarf's name again? Grey something?
Grey something. That was it.
The lady's name?
Grey Warden.
Yeah, Grey Warden. I asked him, so basically, when you go in the city, are there just black-eyed guys just kind of wandering, or...
There are black eyes all over the place wandering, and those puppet things are the ones you really gotta watch out for. Those are kind of everywhere.
All over the place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Puppet things?
Yeah, he described some puppet things.
Yeah, they're like weird puppets. I don't know. They all look the same, so...
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so out of all of the paladins that are left, the ones that haven't... I guess also the black guys, are they all basically Seravi paladins, or are there others that have turned?
Yeah, it's pretty much all paladins are the black guys. The non-paladins, they don't survive.
I'm sorry, did I hear you say all black guys look the same to you?
Black
Excuse me?
eyes. Black eyes.
All black eyes are
Let's
paladins.
go void eyes.
We'll
That's
go void
alright
eyes.
then.
Void eyes,
All
void
the
eyes, yeah.
puppets look the same, is what I said.
Oh, the Muppets? Hold on.
And then I guess
That's all right,
Racist
then.
against Muppets.
Okay, so this tunnel, where does it, exit out?
Oh yeah, so it's not really a straight line. It's kind of a labyrinth, actually. But
Do you have a map?
I got a map up here.
So you're going with us?
Well, yeah, I'm not just gonna send you in here. I actually, in fact, y'all got any food? That's the whole reason I came out here, was looking for food.
I got jerky.
Yeah, we can do food. I described Mr. Friendly and asked if he's ever seen that guy.
Oh, you seen one of the puppets? Yeah, those guys are nasty.
One of the puppets.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Yeah, those things are everywhere.
They end up getting a bunch of arms at some point.
Yeah, a couple of them. A few of them we
Oh,
tried to fight. Yeah, like every time you cut them, like an arm would pop out, and then they would just, until you were nothing.
We're gonna need a lot more teleportation scrolls.
Have you ever had success in killing one of them?
No.
Got it. I guess my
So
last question would be, out of all the paladins in your resistance, are there any of them that
Than him.
I guess don't heal quite right? I guess is a way of putting it.
Yeah, like all of them.
Oh boy.
I have a question. More of a group question. Like, I just kind of stop and think, like...
You go into your inner monologue?
No, like, I asked the group, like, aside, I was like, Mr. Friendly seemed to try to go out of his way until there was no choice not to kill Dadrios. He wanted Dadrios there, but when the time was right, he didn't want Dadrios dead. I wonder what would happen if Dadrios was dead. With magic!
I mean, if we kill him, I can bring him back to life.
Well, I can too. I'm saying I got feigned death. I can make someone
Oh.
like undistinguishable from the dead.
I mean, I assume he just
I
wanted
put
to
my
bring him
sword
back alive so he could
Yeah.
turn him.
Yeah, I would assume that, or that even if I was dead, it wouldn't matter, because at the end of the day, if he tried to anyway, he'll probably just get someone else to do it.
Yeah, thinking just to brew in the minds, there may be a plan that we can use at some point. Something we can do with a apparently dead Dadrios.
I mean, I'm always in favor of killing players, so...
Yeah. I mean, because it says, to all outward inspection and to spells used to determine the target status, the target is dead. So...
Okay, so if we're all going in there, are your paladin friends wanting? Will they want to go in too?
I mean, yeah, if y'all got a way to take back the city, I'm sure they'll be up for it.
How does anybody have a map of the city?
Not on you.
And none of them have a map of the city.
they live there, so
I
probably
guess
wouldn't need it.
Kind of out of question. If we did go in, would I still remember enough to go around, though?
Yeah, you could.
I feel like I would.
Assuming the cityscape is the same as when you left, you'd be able to navigate.
True.
Okay, so where in the city does the tunnel let out?
Well, so he kind of like points up at the big gate. He's like, it's actually kind of under that. So it's you're getting just kind of on the other side of the gate, but you got to take this kind of weird, stupid, windy path the worm made to get there. So it's not quite a direct line, but it's kind of points, kind of over there.
Does the city have a sewer system?
Yeah, that's actually well, kinda. It's like you gotta crawl through it, but there's like a kind of a station, like a water treatment station. That's kind of where we're hanging out.
What I'm saying is, if we got into the sewer system, would there be a way we could use that to get to a drain leading to the main hall?
I mean, it's about that big, so you could try, I guess.
So
I mean-
Slorth could.
Yeah,
You could belly crawl it, I suppose.
I can get real small.
Okay. I mean, he was real
I'm
big a
already
second
fairly
ago.
Small.
He's already
Yeah.
kind of small.
So
That's a little lizard, dude. So, I
Please
don't know.
no sewers.
And,
Please don't
So
do
it-
that to me.
and a dog, so.
So do we think we could get from the sewer system into the main hall? Like, is there an actual opening or?
Dadrios, make a history check to see how well you know the sewer system for your city.
He was a little scamp at some point.
At the Felbar Taco Bueno, I had to use it once or twice.
Yeah.
You know. You said history?
History, yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Why?
You know there's a sewer system.
You have inspiration.
You do have inspiration.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and use it.
Okay.
If I use the inspiration, can I still get the inspiration from earlier?
I'll let you have it, just because.
Double inspiration.
Just for the dope ass move, I'll let you delay your receive of the inspiration.
14. A little
Okay,
better.
a little better.
Cool.
You think? I mean, you know there is a running water system within the Great Hall. You know there is a toilet system, or at least a waste removal system within the Great Hall. How to actually navigate that, you're not sure. But you know it exists, so that's something.
So theoretically, we could.
Yeah. See, it doesn't seem like it's outright impossible, at least.
I mean,
So can we explain more where so the tunnel drops out right behind the gate? Like, isn't there a second gate or something?
Well, there's there's a bunch of gates. It's behind all those. It's actually on the inside of the city.
Okay, does it drop out into like a building or something not obvious? Like, how do you avoid getting caught?
There's a cave, and then you got to go through kind of a man-made thing we made, and then it busts into the side of this basement.
Okay. In the basement, like, just nobody ever is checking there? What is it the basement of?
It is the basement of the water treatment area. See, we actually got this whole water recycle thing. See, bad water comes in. He starts explaining this intricate. Oh, sorry, but but it's got a lot of like. We set up a lot of false panels and hiding, so they'll patrol every now and then, but we can kind of like get in the back room and hide. So, I mean, they haven't found us yet.
Sorry, so all your paladin friends are hiding inside the city?
Yeah. They don't want to leave. I don't know why. I want to leave, but I guess I'm still here too, so can't really judge.
And you used to be in charge of the water treatment facility?
No, I'm just a carpenter.
Yeah, so was Jesus.
Who's Jesus?
You seem pretty badass for a carpenter.
I can do this thing though, where I make water into wine. But it's a cantrip, and a lot of people do it, so it's not that impressive.
Okay, so into the water treatment facility?
It'll also still be kind of early in the morning, right?
Yes, it's probably about 10 a.m. right now.
I mean, it feels like we might as well head there and meet up with his friends.
Well, yeah, I mean, first we got to go through the tunnel, and then you get to the water facility, and then you can say hi to your buddies, and hopefully bring them food. How much food do y'all have? Because before I got electrocuted, I was just going to try to hunt some food. But there's, no animals around, so it's been kind of a bitch, honestly.
Technically, we could also make food once we got there. Just kind of create.
Yeah, I mean, if you can make food, yeah, that'd be great.
I hold up my 2 bags of jerky. Is this enough?
Could summon 16 monkeys.
And then we eat the monkeys, or that's kind of weird.
Banquet.
Can't you
Hey, man,
create
food's
food
food.
water? I mean, they're getting pretty hungry. They'll probably eat monkey. I don't know. I'm not gonna judge them.
Food's food. But yeah,
Don't you just have good berry?
See, I was looking. I know there's spells like great banquet and conjure food.
I don't
Great
have
Banquet's
it.
A high level spell.
Yeah.
I don't have it equipped right now, but I can use create food and water.
Hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, I don't have it right now, so I'll need to rest to switch it out. But yeah,
We also have food on us. Points at points at the bear.
A lot of meat on that bear.
You just resummon him, right? No, I got some rations.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm coming with reinforcements anyway, so they'll probably like that even better than food. At least I hope. Yeah.
where the food?
But, yeah, I mean, we definitely.
Won't you join us for dinner?
Yeah, I feel like I should do an insight check just to make sure he's not leading us there to eat us.
Make an insight check.
But you know what? I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I'll let that play out as it does.
Okay. All right, so into the tunnel, I guess.
Lead the way.
I look at Francine. I was like, any input on any of this?
She's like, this all sounds. I believe the term is bonkers. But I suppose I came here to
do exactly this.
Do exactly this, yeah. Even this is maybe a little more than I was expecting to bite off, but
just the possibility of like dozens of Mr. Friendlies, right? That's not scary.
Yeah.
Maybe we got the one, and those other ones like died when we did.
Yeah, let's hope for that one. That sounds good. But yeah, no, I'm committed at this point, I suppose.
She's seen more weird stuff than this with her skill set.
Hold on.
That is true.
I got one.
All right.
Frankie, step inside that crack in the wall and scry on Mr. Friendly again.
Okay.
I want to see if you get like 50 things lighting up so we can know what we're dealing with.
She's like, sure. She steps inside, takes out an orb, and well, wait, hold on.
she just runs.
See you later.
I mean, can you do your nature community thing right inside it?
Yeah, she can't scry. Okay.
Inside things, it's shorter range.
Okay. She takes out an orb and she concentrated on a sec. And you see her kind of. No, I can't scry on him. I'm being blocked.
Oh.
No!
Even inside the barrier?
Right? Because last time you scryed on him, you got the sun.
I scryed on the statue that was him last time, who was no longer a legendary creature and was a statue. To put it in technical terms.
We need to get in there, meet up with the survivors, and probably get a siesta in, because I can do more if I can get a new spell loadout going.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be overjoyed just to see that I came back with people, because they're getting kind of... And meat, and possibly people meat. We'll see how it works out. Just kidding, probably. But yeah. Yeah, no, it's... I mean, I don't want to say safe, but we've been sleeping there, and some of us are still alive, so, hey! Shall we?
Let's go.
Okay.
The way.
Do we... I know it sounds silly, but do we have any scrolls of Tiny Hut? We never came across any of those, right?
Why do you want a scroll of Tiny Hut?
Because if we're... Tiny Hut takes, what, a minute to cast?
A minute or 10 for ritual.
If we're in this tunnel and this giant worm finds us, like any good adventuring game would have happen, being able to pop an invulnerable barrier to jump into faster than a minute would be good.
Regardless of if you use a scroll or not, it still takes a minute to cast.
Right. Okay. Alright. So, let's go in while I review my spells for tomorrow.
Okay. Follow me? Okay, so here's the thing. This worm has, like, really good hearing, and also can, like, feel you walking.
Not a trace.
Okay, he kind of... Alright, that's a good start. Let's go! That leads you in. Okay, I need a group stealth check out of everyone.
Plus 10.
Dadrios, before we go in, do you want to, like, take your armor off so you're not as loud and blanky?
I was literally going to ask, like, can I doff my armor and put it in the bag of holding?
Or as hard to chew.
Let me see if there's room in the bag of holding.
Multiple bags, don't we?
Yeah, we have two of them.
Because I was just gonna put it in the same one that my greatsword was in.
So sword.
Yeah.
For being honest.
Yeah.
So really the question is just if the biggest piece of the armor can fit through
The cod piece.
Yep. The opening is roughly 2 feet in diameter and 4 feet deep. Oh, really? Your sword shouldn't even be in there, but I won't.
Yeah, I asked you about that last time. Like, would that work? And you're like, fine. I was like,
An
okay.
angle.
I'm gonna say no though for armor in the back of holding armor plus sword. That's gonna be a little much.
Not wearing the armor, would he still get a
It's still gonna
disadvantage?
it's still gonna clink around on you, yeah.
Anyways, everyone's at +10 with pass without a trace.
Yep.
Okay. So what is
now,
it? The...
This is going to be a multiple part challenge. So there's going to be 3 phases to this. Each phase, anything y'all want to do to try to help your chances of sneaking through this tunnel without alerting the worm, you're welcome to do. So you're casting pass without a trace. How long does that last?
It's concentration, period. As long as I hold it. Or up to an hour, I guess, is what it says.
Okay, no worries then.
Because polymorphing something is also concentration, right?
If I was the polymorph? Yeah.
Like,
How
if
much
you were
do
to
you
change
use your inspiration?
Oh, hold on. Take off your armor and put it on me. You're gonna get pissed off at this one.
Okay, then you're gonna take the penalty. Well,
No.
hold on,
I see
Druid.
what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
Anything I'm currently wearing morphs into a little weasel who's gonna be.
Okay. Okay, go for it. Is that what you're doing?
Yep.
Okay. You put on the armor, morph into a weasel, and immediately take damage because you're a druid wearing metal.
I don't think the rules say you take damage. If that's the thing in your world, that's cool. And technically, I could just be carrying his armor. It'd be carried equipment. I was just thinking easier because I'm strong enough to carry it.
If you're going to actually put it on, it is going to start burning your skin. Yes, and that will affect you in the polymorph form as well, because you are absorbing it into your essence.
Well, then I will tie it up around my backpack and strap it behind me, then polymorph. Because it'll be carried equipment.
Okay.
Because even at disadvantage with the pass without a trace, it's a +12.
It is going to fall off if you do that.
Like, it's fine. We'll just.
It's all carried equipment, though.
You're either carried equipment is something like in a pocket, not like a whole nother person's worth of gear on your back. Like you can't pick up like a television set and then polymorph and absorb the television set into you. It's the stuff on your person.
I don't know. Walmart let me get away with that one.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to polymorph with his armor on. I can tell you that.
Okay.
I have an idea.
Go for it.
Go with your idea first.
What if I take off my armor too, and he puts on my armor first, and then he puts on Dadrios' armor, so the metal isn't touching him, because mine is leather.
Well, I mean, my armor isn't metal either.
Oh.
Here's my question.
We can just layer so you're not touching it, though.
So
Apparently
how often can you inspire, Aisling?
What?
How often can you do your inspiration thing?
4 times?
4
you,
times.
You can only have one inspiration die at a time. You can't stack inspiration die.
But I mean,
I
that's like 4
also only
times
have
per-
1 left.
You only have 1 left. Okay. I mean, you could go ahead and do that on Dadrios, and if he's feeling unstealthy.
Here, I'm gonna ask Grey Dwarf again. How far away is an armory from where the tunnel exits?
If he's wearing scraps.
An armory? Probably near the Great Hall. Oh. Towards the opposite side of the city?
Okay.
It's fine. Just be very quiet doing it.
Well, here's my other question. I hate to ask this one, but are there fallen void-eyed people around everywhere? You all clean up the bodies.
You within the city?
Yeah.
Just take the disadvantage plus 10. It's fine. It's a group thing anyways. We're going to have a good
Yeah.
one.
All right.
Okay. So everyone give me a stealth check plus 10.
23.
Is it plus 10 plus if we have a stealth modifier? Or is it just a flat plus 10?
It's plus 10 and whatever you have.
Okay.
Yeah, it's your full stealth check and then 10 on top of that.
Okay, so 17.
36.
$25.
Who did we lose?
The bot.
We lost the
like-
bot. Hi, bot.
Has it even been... Damn you, bot. Okay. Ashling, roll for Sir Smush and Tickers. Just give me the D20 roll.
Okay. I'm sorry. They fucked up.
Well, what'd you get?
A 5 and a 5.
Okay. So that was Dadrios, Rygnerik, Ashling, Slorth, what'd you get? 28? 25?
25.
Okay. Francine, 21. And our friend. Ooh. Okay. So you begin, the kind of first leg of this journey. And the ticker is sitting on Sir Smush. Isn't being the quietest little kobold that he could be. As you're... Hold on, let me fix the stream real quick. Is it playing any music?
I don't hear anything.
You're useless, Beatrice. Sorry, give me one sec. Now is it playing music?
Yes.
Something.
Okay. Okay, so. Why are you terrible? Alright, well, we just won't look at my face then. As you enter this canyon, you can see it's a pretty round, uniform-looking tunnel that's been burrowed through. As you proceed to walk, eventually you see it kind of curve and branch off one direction. You see it curve and branch off another direction, with Yarfam leading you, you kind of we're gonna take a left up here and a right up there. And Tickers is kind of just kind of looking around. And Ashling, you're with him, and you've known Tickers for a while now. You can tell when he's getting kind of overstimulated. And you see him he sees this kind of big spider on the wall, and he's and you kind of clap your hand around his mouth real quick. He's you're kind of continue sneaking. You make it past the first leg, managing to not alert the worm. There we go. Round 2.
Question for the next roll.
Sure.
Can I add Search Mush's dex to his stealth roll?
Yeah. That's what I was doing, but with a 5, it wouldn't have helped.
My question is, can I use perception or survival to see if I can tell in which direction related to us the worm might be?
Sure. Make a... I'll let you choose. Perception, survival, or investigation.
19.
Okay. So you've tracked some animals before. You're pretty familiar with that, and kind of looking around at the floor and kind of old grooves versus new grooves and just dirt that's accumulated and kind of flattened or fresh. You get a pretty good sense that the worm is kind of over in this direction. And you're like, okay, let's... Fucking music. Did the music cut out for y'all?
Yeah, it did.
You're like, okay, so a pretty good idea the worm's over there. So that does lower the DC as you kind of give everyone an idea about where you think the worm is.
Based on the direction I think he is, if he did get a sense of us, would he come through his own tunnels to get to us, or would he just bore new holes?
You do not know.
Okay. Second question is, based on these tunnels and any leavings or flesh that may come off if he gets, a little chunk here or there off, or any traces of him, is he... I mean, probably not a creature of this world that we know of, not a beast. He may be like something Far Realmish, or what do I get for vibe?
Well, you've already been told by Yarform that he doesn't seem to be from this dimension.
Well, Yarform probably doesn't know that there's Leviathans, so if I'm being perfectly honest.
That's fair. I'll say make a nature check.
While he's doing that, would a spell like Bless affect the rolls or not, because it's not saving throws?
It'll let you add a D4 to it.
Okay.
Checks and saving throws. 18. You feel like, just from your knowledge of natural animals, you feel that, this creature's probably not from around here.
Okay.
Sorry, real quick, before we make our next roll, let me take a quick bathroom break.
All right,
and
I'm going to get a drink.
Maybe punch the music bot again.
Be right back. Music.
Come here.
My plan, if we do get rolled up on, is to hold my ground and wait for it to come at me, and try to polymorph it as it chomps me to death. It's a wisdom
plan.
It's a wisdom save. Something tells me those things are... I mean, I was thinking at first I could stone shape a spike for it to run its body through and hurt it. But then I'm like, he's been eating walls and barriers. Spike ain't gonna fuck him up. But if I polymorph him into a little grub worm... And it's a wisdom
I have a plan that might just let us run.
Okay.
So if it comes to it, let's try that first and then you can do your thing.
Plan is, I'm gonna cast Bless on Tickers and Sir Smush.
Okay.
And myself.
Okay.
I want to use my bonus action to help Sir Smush be stealthy.
Are you gonna?
If you're gonna help Smush, I'm gonna change that Bless to Warfram.
I mean, not to shoot herself in the foot, but Bless, I'm assuming, is a spell you cast with vocal components in the middle of this tunnel.
So, with vocal components, you don't have to be like, you can be like, you can say the words silently to yourself.
Yeah.
But if you're completely muffled or like silenced or something, you can't. But you can be like super quietly. There she is. Okay, so
there she is.
Second round of rolls.
Oh,
yep.
Okay.
As soon as we confirm Liz, you're muted.
Tickers, Yorfrin, and myself will get an extra D4.
Okay.
And then Smush gets advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
27 for Slorth.
Okay.
28.
I should say giant weasel Slorth.
Are you a giant weasel?
Because my armor gives disadvantage too.
Oh,
Okay.
So
right. This
I
is 38. I forgot. Or no, 28. Yeah, it's lower than normal.
Oh,
I
it's,
got a
it's 54, not 53.
I got a 16.
both times because the bonus.
Right.
Sir Smush is blessed, you said?
No, Smush has advantage from Rygnerik.
Okay. Tickers was blessed?
Yes.
Okay. Ashling, you're muted.
Sorry. Okay.
So
19 total.
19 for who?
Nine-
Sorry.
19 total for me.
Okay.
Everyone has the plus 10, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so 27 total for Schmush. And 29 for Tickers.
Okay. For a friend. Yeah, get it. I need a dice box. Ooh, good thing you got Blast Without Trace on. Okay. Especially with a few extra precautions you all took, and Ticker is now kind of taking the hint that it needs to be quiet. Kind of creep further in the tunnel and listen for a sec. Doesn't seem to have attracted the worm. So, round 3. Anything else anyone want to do, or we're just going to roll?
I will continue what I've been doing.
Yeah,
Okay.
just repeat the same thing.
Alright, give me them rolls.
Yeah.
31. I'm getting better every time.
Nice.
42.
Oh, I was about to say, I'm almost as good as Rygnerik.
42.
Yeah.
The answer to life, the universe, and everything.
Bringing a towel.
Dadrios, you are 15 or 25?
19.
19. Okay.
Sucker.
Ashling, what's your totals?
21 for me.
Mhm.
Does Schmush still have advantage?
Yeah, because...
Ooh, good rolls,
Okay.
boys.
30 for Schmush. And 25 for Tickers.
Nice. Yeah, y'all are fine. You managed to kind of... Yarfram kind of indicates, this way and that way. Y'all, after a little stumble at the beginning, y'all kind of, got more of a groove going and managed to sneak very quietly through the cavern with kind of ears listening for a rumble, feeling through the ground. Seem to be able to get through undisturbed.
I'm a big weasel.
So as he leads you kind of around the final turn, you can see at this part of the tunnel, instead of the kind of round, shape the rest of the tunnel has, it looks a little more manually carved out. And you actually see a few boards kind of up on the sides that seem to be supporting the sides. And you proceed a little forward, and you eventually see a dim light coming through what looks like a stone wall that's been kind of busted out. And you with Yarfram going first, kind of stepping through the precipice, and he's like, "Well, I'm back, and I didn't get a lot of food, but I got something better." And he kind of steps to the side and introduces, and kind of like, "Ta-da!" as you all kind of step through the wall.
Weep, weep. I'm the first one through. I got something better.
Ta-da! You immediately see the look of disappointment on the crowd.
Weep, weep.
As you all walk in, you see a very kind of haggard, dirty, hungry, just bad shape looking people. Dadrios, you see...
Nice place, Dadrios.
It is a
It's home.
kind of like maybe a 40 by 30 kind of stone basement. You can see various piping running through it. Some dwarven machinery that you don't recognize seems to be quietly kind of pumping in the corner.
I might recognize it.
You might. Do you want to see if you know what it is?
Is it water treatment fucking stuff?
It's water treatment fucking stuff, yeah, basically. Yeah,
I solved your riddle!
Yeah, you can pretty much assume it has something to do with the redistribution of water through the city.
I know a guy who will tell me all about it.
Yeah, he probably will. But you see about 8 people dressed almost exactly like Dadrios. And looking around, Dadrios, you kind of scan the faces of these different individuals. The paladins of Seraviv seem to they look like shit, to be perfectly honest. You can see
they look now.
Then it's fine.
You can see blood stains on their armor. You can see several of them have like bandage and wounds. Among them, you can see a couple of men and women. There's 4 or 5 children among the bunch, just looking depressed, basically. Dadrios, you kind of scan the faces of the different paladins, and you do. Several of them kind of look up kind of hopefully as they see you walk in, and the paladins especially, when they see Dadrios, their eyes kind of light up, not expecting to see another paladin of Seraviv. And as you're scanning, you see sitting in the corner talking to a child who's actually got kind of a large cut on her hand. You see a female paladin kind of wrapping their hand up, and she's just dirty looking, but despite how crappy she looks and how dented her armor is, she's got this kind of like, it's all right smile, like this kind of cool, confident smile on her face, and you recognize the face of Astria.
So she look nasty? Like she a freak?
She looks
that kind of dirty.
Dirty, like, yeah.
So
like,
Dadrios actually has to have to stop himself from fangirl screaming, but then runs over and gives her a hug.
Okay.
a character question. What makes this area more safe from the magical barrier biting thing? Is it like better insulated for sound, or how do they not get seen here?
Seen by the
monster, the choppy dwarf.
Why does the giant worm not come in here?
Yeah.
I assume that the boss bad guy thing probably told him not to eat up the city.
You don't know? But I mean, you can inquire around if you want. But Dadrios, you run over to this female, and in a flawless motion, as she's talking to her child, you see her eyes cut over to the movement on her side, and in a lightning flash, she's got a hand on her blade, and it comes up ready until almost in the same millisecond, this look of recognition crosses her face, and she softens and just lets you hit her, and just like completely this blown away expression on her face, and she sits there a moment with just her arms up while you kind of tackle her, and she just doesn't say anything and just wraps her arm around you and just crushes you into her, and just kind of like lays her head on top of yours, and she goes, "I thought you were dead."
The weasel kind of nudges Ashling with his little weasel arm. He's like, he wiggles his eyebrows at her.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that's my sister.
Oh. Hey. Hey, you know,
Luke and Leia.
You're in a crazy cult already. I don't know what kind of system y'all got, so wiggle eyebrows, keep going. That's fine. It's being shipped as we speak.
She embraces you for a long moment, and you can feel just she's got some guns on her, just crushing you into her. And she finally kind of steps back and kind of grabs your shoulders and just like almost effortlessly just like places you in front of her. And you can see her eyes watering with a tear running down her She's like, I'm so glad you're back. Where have you been?
I've been trying to find a source for all this. What's happened? Where's Dad?
Her face, the joyous expression she has, just immediately falls.
Good start.
She goes, Dad went to the main hall to face whatever this was. I tried to go with him, but he wouldn't let me. That was probably over a week ago now, and he still hasn't come back.
I've come back with friends.
And she kind of like looks up for the first time and sees a weasel and kind of like, huh, like odd choice.
The weasel's actually like doing the thing where he's spun around, making it look like he's making out with someone, like weep 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 to Aisling. So she's laughing at the little weasel doing the cuddle thing at her and pointing it.
She definitely gives kind of a head cock to the reinforcements you've bought, and she's like, you know what?
Cool.
We'll take it. Anything at this point, especially Dadrios, I'm just especially so glad to see you. No, we'll take any reinforcements you can get, even whatever this is. We're happy to have it. Oh,
Dwarf.
All right.
Second, I kind of have to stop myself from doing like the excited jump because I'm like, they're not as good as you, I promise, but they're a great team, I promise.
I want to size her up and see, like, is she a higher level than us?
After about a minute, yes. She is a higher level than you.
So yeah, I'm gonna ask around again about. Could you give me that lady, the seven sister lady, her name, so I stop sounding like someone who doesn't know what he's doing.
Yes. High Lady Illustrial Silverhand.
Illustrial Silverhand. I mentioned to everyone there, see if anyone else has any greater insight about what transpired with her than Greyhorn over there.
As he's doing this, one of a male paladin that you don't recognize, Dadrios. I'll say several of these faces you've seen around, but just you don't personally know. Yeah, you're like, oh hey, you're the guy from that patrol we went on. That what was your name again? Yeah, kind of those faces. But you don't see, other than your sister, you don't see any of your close personal friends in this little ragtag group. As Slorth is kind of asking around, your sister just wraps her arm around you in a headlock and actually kind of knocks back your helmet, just like, oh, I'm so glad to see you. It just kind of wrestles you down for a sec.
Come on, guys.
And as you're doing this, another paladin steps up to you, Slorth, and is like, oh yeah, the High Lady. He's actually, you see this long, looks like a knife wound across his eye, and he seems to be missing one of his eyes.
Is it healed or still bloody?
It looks probably 4 or 5 days old.
Goes without saying, I'm going to drop a healing totem in the middle of the room, tell everyone to gather up and just burn some spell slots.
Wait, how many of you are like him and you can't be healed?
They all,
way to find out.
They all kind of aren't sure what you're asking, but Slorth, yeah, as you start dropping heals, you do notice that the men and the women and the children actually start looking. They get a little more color back to their face and looking a little better. Paladins look exactly the same. They don't seem to change at all. But he says, yeah, the High Lady, she came through here several weeks back, maybe over a month now. I don't know. Time's kind of weird right now. She came to investigate a magical disturbance that we were only just beginning to catch up on. He kind of reflects for a second. He's like, we should have seen this coming. Sorry. By that point, there was already something within the main hall that she went to confront and hasn't returned since then.
She came by herself. She didn't bring any other silver-clad people.
She did have a couple soldiers with them, with her.
They aren't around. They went.
No, they all went in. Nobody came out. So, you know.
I have an important question.
Yep.
Who wants booze?
So Dadrios' sister is like buff, right?
She's pretty well built, yeah.
Does she look like she's hot under all that grime?
You would think so, yes.
All right.
She has, despite, in fact, as you're scoping her out, being the pervy bard that you are, even with, like, everyone looks just, like, beaten down, not just physically, but emotionally. But even with, like, the scratches on her face and just the general beat-up look, not those kind of scratches, she's still got this kind of, like, come on, guys, we got this kind of look to her as you check her out.
So she's trailer park hot. Like, beat up, scroungy.
Sure.
There we go.
Okay.
So, I offer to pour out some drinks for everybody, just, spirits up. Wine has some nutritional value, it's good for you. I start passing out drinks.
As soon as you start offering drinks, everyone goes, "Do you have any food?" And they're like, "Food?" And it seems there's definitely a bit of skinniness going on to the group.
Yeah, I'll start pulling out rations. I've got.
Yeah,
Okay.
I empty out my rations for them.
Okay. As you watch, it's interesting. The people in front of you are, like, as you kind of pass, they almost, like, reach out and almost claw at you for food. They seem extremely desperate. But as soon as you start producing food, you even kind of, like, brace yourself a little bit, expecting to get kind of mauled for it. But to your surprise, like, nobody steps forward except two of the paladins do, and take the food, gently from you and begin distributing it evenly to everyone without taking any for themselves.
Okay, so random question. I've got this thing in my inventory that says heavy flask. It's a wondrous item. Was that the flask of, like, milk or something?
No, that is a flask you got as a prize that is just solid metal all the way through.
It's just that's right. Didn't we have a flask of milk or something at some point?
One of you has a flask of bottomless milk. I think it might be Ashling. I forget which one.
Really, I mean, it could be like boob milk and all you really need to survive.
I mean, milk is fairly nutritional. We should pull that out and start giving them milk.
Yeah.
She's been turning it into eggnog.
Yeah, as you offer that... Go ahead.
I pass out drinks. I offer milk to the kids. I let adults choose what they want, wine or milk.
You find everyone is being oddly, like, despite the obvious desperation in their face, everyone's being oddly cordial, and, like, they gather the kids around first, and, like, the paladins distribute the food to the people, and the people immediately gather the kids, and they make sure the kids have enough food and are eaten, and then, like, the men step back and they make sure the women have enough, and then the men kind of take what's left, and then only then, after, like, the paladins kind of watch this whole scene unfold without taking a single bite, and it's only after everyone seems to have a good meal that each paladin takes only a very small, like, they take one ration for, like, 5 paladins, just breaks it up and just eats seemingly the bare minimum.
I lean over to the paladins with my stack of red solo cups, and I insist there's an infinite amount of this, and I offer them more wine and milk.
They take the milk, they pass on the wine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I lean especially close to Astrid and say, "What are you drinking, sweetheart?"
to Dadrios' sister, you mean?
Yes.
Astria. Am I saying that right?
Oh, Astria. Got it.
Straya.
I'm gonna bang your sister.
She kind of looks over at you with a very like I know what you're doing expression, and she gives you a little coy wink, and she says, "That's fine. I'll eat last." And kind of
I insist.
You just
I
keep
told
pouring
you,
milk,
it's infinite.
endless milk, and spinning in circles.
So I pour out some wine, and I insistently hand it to her.
And she politely takes it from you and tips her head and gives a little cheer and takes
I
a
make
drink.
sure my hand lingers on it for a moment.
She notices. She is fully aware of what you're doing.
That doesn't
She
sound
knows what
right.
happens when someone with an instrument walks in the room.
She is aware of your flirtation. Her attention seemed to be on other priorities, though. So she's not like she doesn't shoot you down or anything. She's kind of
Is
like
it me?
she's staring at Slorth like intent now.
I was like, I got a girlfriend.
She's so sweet and wholesome.
Yeah, she's
You're
kind of like
You're gonna corrupt that.
Absolutely.
she gives you kind of
so
a
how do they
thanks,
seem to be
darling.
doing other than food? Like, are they? Is it dark in here because they're out of torches or anything? How are they-
No, there's on two of it's dim in here. On two of the torches, two of the walls there are torches in sconces kind of mounted up there. They seem, I mean, they're not. It's not hard to make a torch. I mean, it looks like a stick with some rags wrapped around it and some, dipped in some oil is what's stuck to the wall.
Animal fat, some wood. If I'm thinking 7 days to die.
Yeah, basically.
How I ask why the worm doesn't just come in here and get y'all?
Astria kind of like gives a little smirk and goes, "Oh, he tried that once. We made it undesirable for him." And she kind of like throws her sword on her back, and you can see just blood stains and chips all along it.
Okay. I was hoping there'd be some nice thing like the machinery makes so much noise that it's like a dead zone to him. Something logical, but that's fine too.
She goes, "The thing with predators is if the prey isn't worth their time, then they won't go for it." She kind of puts her sword back down.
I bite my lip and inhale sharply.
She
Hey,
definitely
Bobby.
has a cool of a cucumber vibe coming off of her.
Cast cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
So-
That's her cantrip is cool as a cucumber.
So what is our plan? Are we going to spend the night here, rest and everything, and then try to?
I've been chugging beers, so I gotta pee again. I am sorry, but y'all can discuss while I do that.
I need to find out from him, and I know this sounds like a dumb question, but maybe not because magic. If there's trees under this mountain, inside this mountain, in this town. Because if there's trees, I can maybe make something happen with. I can turn into a fish and swim through the water pipes until I find one that exits in the main hall area. If you describe to me what it looks like, I'll know when I'm close so I can remember it. And I can get there, get to her, polymorph her into, like, something, and then, like, tree stride my way away from there. So... But that'd be me solo. But I could, John McClane my way through the little pipes and...
Now that we're past the barrier, can you just mold earth your way to where you need to get?
Mold earth does not function on solid stone or worked stone.
Ah.
Okay, my apologies.
This sounds. I say this sound maybe a silly question, but are there trees in this mountain?
Trees?
Yeah, big. I turn my staff briefly into a tree.
Trees.
I change it back to a staff.
Estru's like, yeah, there's several trees along the mountainside as well as scattered throughout the city. We've actually got a little park too. It's real nice.
Okay, so there are trees within the city limits.
Sure.
Okay.
Are they near the main hall thing?
I think there's a couple kind of around that area. The main hall is actually built into the side of the mountain itself for additional fortification, which, that bit us in the ass, but it is what it is.
Can you tell us a bit about what is going on there? What's the approach to the main hall look like now?
Well, as I'm sure she kind of gestures to, what's his name? She gestures to Yarfum. She's like, well, as I'm sure he has undoubtedly told you by this point, the dwarven construction of this city, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, the streets actually have a very organized grid pattern. In fact, the whole city is quite organized. So outside of the actual entrance to the Great Hall, there's a small road that leads to it, and then a main street in front of it, and then that leads to cross streets that make up that part of the city.
How many things are walking around in the city currently?
How many what?
Are they actively patrolling? Zombies or puppets or whatever?
The former paladins. Quite a few of them, I'm sad to say. The majority of our ranks, unfortunately.
I'm gonna ask, and how have you been dealing with them? Just putting them out of their misery, or avoiding when you can?
So,
Dynamite.
she kind of, you can see her face kind of visibly drop a little bit. Initially, we captured 2 of them, and we tried pretty much everything we had to snap them out of it, but this isn't the first hideout we had, and it seemed after capturing them, they were somehow able to relay information back to this creature or each other or something, and so we did try a few things to kind of snap them out of it without success, but after about 2 hours, we ended up getting raided pretty hard and lost a lot of people.
And your wounds, have you noticed they don't heal like they used to? How have you all been dealing with that?
Pretty
Wait,
well.
so are you saying that's new?
Yeah.
Like, you haven't always been like that?
Yeah.
No, that's related to she immediately knows what you're referring to. We're able to take care of each other. Something about there's a corruption going on, as you know, with Seravive's blessing, and something within that corruption in our magic that is blessed to us. We are able to handle each other's wounds, but any outside healing doesn't seem to affect us any longer.
So, but y'all can heal each other.
So far, yeah. I will say, any attempts we made with both healing and curse removal and other things with the dark-eyed paladins have been completely ineffective. And I'm also sad to say that the longer time goes on, the less effective our healing to each other seems to be. It seems that our proximity to this creature... Well, I mean, we've figured this out already. This creature is drawing our essence out somehow. We haven't been able to figure out how or how to stop it other than... I mean, killing him would probably work, but we haven't had much luck in that department either, unfortunately.
Sending them to the sun.
That would probably work, yeah.
It might.
If you figure out a way to do that, then we're in.
We need a lot of parchment.
Do we go sneak the lady out of there? Or are you wanting to, like, spend the night and then do that? What's the plan?
I'm going to need to sleep because I need a new spell loadout if I'm going to do this and be optimal. If I do it solo. I'm not against a group thing. I'm just getting options together for whatever we may need because I only get one chance to adjust my spells.
I mean, when was the last time any of you went into the city? Like, have you just been here for basically this whole time?
Well, we send small parties out, usually just 2 or 3 of us, not the civilians or anything, to try to find supplies and just other people. We've been able to recover a few pockets of people still managing to hide in homes and basements and crawl spaces and anywhere they could. And bring them out here and get them out of the city. We've had some success getting people out of the city, but as far as actually approaching the Great Hall, just getting there is kind of an issue in and of itself. If the puppets don't see you, then you have to get around the fallen paladins. We tried raiding the Great Hall, both in numbers and stealthily, and the few of us that did make it to the hall, those who went in did not come out. So, as our numbers dwindled, we were forced to concentrate our efforts more on just what good we could do.
Okay, is there like a food supply warehouse we should try to make a run to that you've had trouble getting to or anything?
There was. We've raided that a couple times, but even before they fortified it, the supplies there were already getting pretty low. It's been Dadrios. You know, it's been months and months since you left. Just like it's been without any trade or ability to raise crops or anything. It's been pretty much what we can scavenge in. I'll be honest, we're pretty much out of stuff to scavenge at this point.
So, the puppets, have you had any run-ins with those?
She kind of grins and nods her head over to the guy who's got the big slash across his eye. He goes, Kristen and I decided to take one on one day, and we opted to not embarrass him and make a tactful retreat before putting him in his place. And you can see the other paladin like kind of touch his eye. You get the sense they got their ass kicked.
But I guess that answers my question though, like it's possible to get away from them.
Well, we got away. Not everyone has been so lucky. They will pursue you if you run.
Okay, so I mean, are there any other supplies in the city we should consider going after? Is there an armory with magic?
Oh, armory's been tapped out. A lot of the more powerful artifacts were either already in the Great Hall or seem to have been moved there by the Fallen and by these puppets. as our number is lower, it's getting harder and harder to scout. You can check the armory, but we've kind of decided with the additional postings they've put there that the risk have outweighed any benefit of what might be left there. Personally, I don't recommend it, but I mean, she kind of looks around the group. You all made it this far, so I don't know. Maybe you'll have better luck.
So I got a crazy ass idea that's
love
gonna
those.
split. It's gonna split the party, which I know you
I
love
don't
that
like
even
it.
more.
Hey, go for it.
If this water treatment center would have to treat the water in the Great Hall at some point, right?
Yes, all water from the city does through this and its sister facility, yes.
If someone could turn into a tiny octopus, could they get their way to the Great Hall, find the person we're looking for in the Great Hall, polymorph them into a goldfish, put them inside the octopus's mouth, and work their way back through the tunnels and avoid the streets altogether?
That's complicated, but I don't hate it. You would need... I personally, other than the fact that I know it's a labyrinth of tunnels that lead under the city, you would need some type of... Excuse me. You need some kind of map to get there, or you'd probably just end up in someone's toilet, to be honest.
Wouldn't be the first time. I mean, this is the water treatment center. There's not like a grid map of the city or what goes where. There's like a sewage works. I mean, if Dwarves built this place, they have that kind of stuff mapped.
The next thing I was going to say is not here, but the sister facility, which is the main facility for water treatment. This is more of a pump station, I believe is the term. The main facility, though, should have a map, and I could tell you how to get there. That should have full plans for the entire sewage system for the whole city, as well as any. And she kind of thinks for a sec, kind of liking the idea. It's like as well as any external, maybe other ways out of the city or other options. If you're able to transform yourself into something small like that. Yeah,
Small and squeezy. Small and squeezy.
Small and
We're talking
squeezy.
octopuses.
Sure.
Speaking of small and squeezy, I'm putting in a good word for Ashling over there.
I'll take a note of that.
Much appreciated.
So where exactly is the other water treatment facility?
Probably in non-D&D terms, probably about 10 blocks from where you are now. If you're sneaky or just lucky, you might be able to get there without being seen.
Do you want me to make a run for that, and I can copy down the map?
Do these pipes lead to that water treatment facility?
She kind of looks at and as you kind of look up, you can see lots of pipes kind of going all different directions. She kind of goes, theoretically.
Okay. I mean, because I'm level 10 now. I can stay an octopus for 5 hours.
I'm level 10. I can handle it. It's like, I mean, yeah. I mean, you're gonna run into the same issue. I can point you the direction, and I guess hope the pipe you pick leads there. Sure.
I could
Nothing.
sneak over there and copy the map and come back.
Yeah, but if something goes bad for you, it's gonna be. I mean, either one of us it could go bad for. But
Yeah,
plus, you got your hood that makes you more invisible too, right?
right. I'm pretty sneaky.
You're pretty damn sneaky. I mean, we could both go.
Yeah, and we could probably also like have a bless on y'all before you go. It's not much, but
Especially to the non-believers. Come on, take his flesh, eat it. So, all right. So we need the map to better find our way to get to her quicker, to get back quicker. I could always.
Go ahead.
I could always turn into a little weasel in your pocket. You go super stealth. I do pass that a trace. We get extra double stealth as I go with you. And then if we get there and shit gets bad, I could turn you into a goldfish, pop you in my mouth as an octopus, then get in the pipes and away we go.
Did we decide if you are in my pocket while I'm invisible, do you turn invisible or not?
No, but I'll have +7, +17 to stealth with me.
A weasel is harder to see than a person, even if it's floating.
And he sticks to the shadows. He's not just relying on, because he knows things exist that have true sight.
Yeah.
How bright it is outside the building?
Outside the building we are now?
It's a mountain, right?
So, Dadrios, you know this. The mountain range is circular around the city, but the top is open. So it is daylight streaming down, and when y'all were, it's probably around noonish now, maybe a little after, and it was a partly cloudy day, as you discovered earlier. So it's pretty bright outside currently. It's kind of the top of the day.
So some of this city. Go ahead.
I mean, so our plan is just I'll turn invisible, you'll turn real small.
Pass without a trace.
Pass without a trace. We stealth over there, copy down the map, and come back.
Yeah, and if something goes bad, I can help us get out of there through the pipes.
Okay. We'll do that.
Is there anything nearby that the rest of the people could do that would be useful to them? Or cinematic, at least? Like a workout montage? Or it could just be like the straight smashing that Aisling gives to Dadrios' sister. They can roleplay that out.
Maybe she's just raising the morale of this.
There you go.
That's what I was thinking. While we're waiting, I can just play a song for everyone for some morale.
The love song of the Bard and the Paladin.
Mm-hmm.
And she found a great paladin and stuck her
Sir
tongue
Smudge
in her ear.
can give out some kisses.
The children are swarming Sir Smush for sure, and to a lesser extent Tickers, who's a little unsure how to take it, but is kind of like the scared dog who's trying to be a good boy. Tickers is kind of like
they're feeling the meat on his bones. Ooh, I like this one.
Ooh, the tail, a lot of meat there.
Make a stew. You got a gumbo going, baby.
Sir Smush is gonna roll over on his back and let all the kids pet his belly.
Yeah, all the kids are completely entertained, and there's a few adults, you don't know if they're parents or not, but nearby, kind of giving a entertained but watchful eye over the whole situation. But do you want to play a song for them?
Yeah, I'll play a nice song.
Okay, give me a performance check. Give me a performance morality booster.
A song about starving.
You're probably not gonna die, but you might.
I'm going hungry.
27.
Temple of the Dog.
27. All right. Yeah. So as you find kind of a nearby crate and you kind of scoot it over next to where the little children kobold dog maul is going on, and you take out your dulcimer and you play this real soothing kind of soft chord, and just off the top of your head you come up with this ballad that starts as kind of this tribute to these dark times, but you sing about this coming light from above and below that cast on this darkened city and lights it back up, and how the city, you come up with this whole thing about how the city will return to light once again and raise up again, and you really kind of hit those maybe even unintentionally, those maybe it's just from hanging out with Dadrios so much, but you definitely hit some of those talking points that he has given you off his chair a few times.
And even the shrewd notes, like about all the penises and the structures,
yeah,
they land.
The
they
penis
land.
parts are beautiful. It's the best part of the song, really.
She uses perfect innuendo where you can't tell. It's like double entendre. Like, did she mean our spirits or the dicks on the walls? Beautiful.
But yeah, you definitely see not only the spirits lift. The kids are just like that. Probably the happiest they've been in months, to be honest. The adults are smiling. The paladins still kind of have this watchful eye, but you see a couple of them with this kind of like very kind of soft smile on their face, almost like the first glimmer of hope they've seen in a long time.
Milk mustaches everywhere.
Tons of milk mustaches.
And I re-pour drinks to anyone that asks.
Okay. At this point, now that food has been distributed and morale and everyone seems to be a little happy, a couple of paladins do take you up on the wine.
Tisk, tisk, tisk at him. It was a test.
Your sect does drink, right, Dadrios? I think I didn't read anything against that.
Well, they do now.
Yeah. As long as it's not hurting anybody, they do.
Okay.
It's grape juice.
Yeah, they don't drink a ton, but they'll take like half a cup and just kind of like, hey, maybe we won't die after all. Kind of. Cheers.
Oh, look at Mr. Immortal over here.
Yeah, that's kind of going on.
So are we heading out?
And then I'll just. They probably won't need it, but just to be safe, I'll also cast a bless on them before they go.
Yeah.
You kids want to see a trick? Weep, 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 weep.
Kids are
turn into a little. Can you? Your advantage, Rygnerik, is on.
Slorth, make a dex save.
Oh god, here come the kids. As a
weasel.
As a weasel. Not a giant weasel, just a regular weasel.
Oh, weasel.
I guess it's just my +3. I'll take it.
Okay. You managed to narrowly avoid several pairs of, tiny, dirty little hands coming. You're like, weasel! You're like, beep, 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 beep. And just slip out of the way in time.
So, damn it, what was I gonna do? Okay, yeah, so I turned into a weasel. I didn't ask. I should have asked. Maybe someone else can ask. Before I turn into a weasel, I ask, is there a bunch of ravens in the city or no? Evil undead ravens flying around?
Paladins they all like, oh yeah, tons of them.
Okay.
They confirm the presence of quite a few ravens that seem to be increasing steadily every day, actually.
When was the last time y'all saw them? Is this really recently, like in the last 6 hours?
The ravens?
Yeah.
They're always there.
I'm just curious if they'd seen them. It's like maybe there was a glimmer of chance that we actually got the proper, actual Mr. Friendly into our burning star, and all the other ones just kind of poofed away and but probably not.
They will let you know that each puppet seems to have their own little cluster of ravens that seems to follow them around. But there are definitely a lot of them in the sky.
What they don't realize is the damage they're doing on the fragile ecosystem by killing all these ravens. The insects are going to go crazy. The little critters. Oh, man.
The mosquitoes, man. The mosquitoes.
That is what pisses me off. Not this culty shit. The ecosystem is what's going to really get hurt.
It would. Rygnerik.
Mm-hmm.
As you're all kind of talking and planning,
go ahead.
And, getting your kind of plan and listening to music. Rygnerik, there's suddenly a voice in your head, and you hear this kind of stoic, monotonous male voice come through that you don't recognize. As hello, this is Sir Ichabod Thornstead with the Waterdeep City Planning Council. Your property at Heroes Walk has now been officially cleared for private use.
Radio, chap.
Thank you. I appreciate you letting me know that.
And Dadrios just leaves. Like, oh well, that's all I cared about. Later.
It's good to know that we can still get messages in here.
Yeah.
So maybe we can send messages.
I will let everybody else know the message that I got.
A few seconds later after you reply, a second message comes through. Very good. Restoration on the mansion will now commence under Article 3047. Also, please remember to submit a wild animal permit for your direwolf.
When did we get one of those?
Yeah, we got a direwolf now? You mean Panda? Does Dadrios know about a direwolf?
Yeah, does anybody know what he's talking about with the direwolf?
You can respond.
Yeah, I asked him, what direwolf are you talking about?
And he said they're construction of the mansion?
Restoration on the mansion.
Is he talking about the orphanage?
No, if you recall, there was a mansion on the property that was kind of run down. Yeah.
Sir Schmush perks his head up, and he says, I'm very flattered, but I'm actually a mastiff.
Rygnerik, what was your reply again?
I asked him what direwolf.
We're gonna need so many permits for what we're gonna bring.
A few seconds pass, and you hear this kind of like this like melodramatic sigh, like
SIGGGGGH.
Yeah, and you get this "you're wasting my spell slots" vibe through just the sigh, but here. The large, white, strangely articulate direwolf who's been waiting outside the mansion. All wild animals require a wild animal permit, please.
We should really get this sanctioned as an animal sanctuary or an exotic animal zoo. That's going to really save a lot of red tape because, let's face it, we're going to bring some weird shit home.
So
yeah, let's call it a zoo.
Did you awaken a direwolf? A large white wolf?
I look at my staff, check the charges on it. Like, I don't think so. Shit.
Let's see.
Lily pad?
Tree, lily pad, dog.
Got the rock. I mean, I didn't awaken the rock.
You didn't awaken the rock.
Got the dog, lily pad.
I asked him, what has the direwolf said? And if he can speak, is he wild?
Sorry, give me 1 second.
He's checking how many spell slots this guy has. I like to imagine that there's an entire bureaucracy of wizards that all they know is how to send messages.
Maximize their spell slots just for message.
Yeah.
A call center is just a bunch of wizards sitting in
This is probably some NPC class.
You are getting that kind of this is a call center
third level
vibe.
message sender.
Yeah, okay, I just burned a 5th level slot. What the shit?
You hear, after you reply, you hear you feel the reply start, but there's a long pause before the speaking starts. It's not a sigh, but it's an absence of a sigh. He goes, the wolf who has introduced himself as Ungul says they are awaiting your presence. Further spells will result in a fine.
We got a bill with the city, baby. You talk to them about it.
You know an Ungul?
Just send back K. Have we ever heard of Ungul? Finch? Have we ever heard of this name?
I don't think you've heard the name, no.
Wait.
Do we?
Oh, shit. Shit.
What?
This is one of the direwolves from Daggerfall Mountain. There's a progress report on the death of the twins. Balls.
Yep.
Okay, well, that's a thing now. Well, we'll slay that
Also-
Leviathan when we get to it.
Did anybody react when Sir Smush spoke?
Yeah, y'all were mostly involved with this weird bureaucratic series of telepathic message Rygnerik was getting. But yeah, when Sir Smush spoke. I don't know,
he
voice
smokes.
actor. Yeah, Sir Smush has started smoking. The
Can
kids.
you blame him though?
The kids lost their marbles, and like one of the paladins like reaches for a sword for a second. He's like, "What am I doing?" You know, like,
That dude turned into a weasel. The dog talks.
yeah,
Of course, the dog talks.
yeah. I bet like several of the paladins have this look like. Of course, the dog talks.
I'm gonna respond to the guy with, "Thank you. Can you please let the wolf know we're finding an egg?"
Okay. There is no further reply.
Okay.
Tell that fucking wolf shit yourself, goddammit. I lost what I was thinking. That wolf thing fucked me up. Okay, your tactical thing, Rygnerik, that's for any roll, any d20, skill, or attack?
I mean, so if you just look it up, technically it's a help action, right? Which you can lend aid to another person, and you give them advantage on the next ability check.
Okay.
To perform a task, or
Hit me
you
with-
give them advantage on an attack if you're within 5 feet. The only difference for me is that A, I can do it at range. I don't have to be within 5 feet.
Okay.
And B, I can do it as a bonus action. I played him.
Yeah,
I
he
can
doesn't
do
have
it
to
as a
spend his
bonus
turn.
action, so I could do that even though I'm doing something else. So,
Well, tell me to be really sneaky. Tell me how to be good sneaky weasel before we go.
okay, yes, I'll coach you on some sneakiness as we start going.
I won't just creep around like
You gotta stop squeaking on every step.
squeak, 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 squeak.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
All right.
Ashling, are you going to continue with the entertainment?
Yes. Would you guys like an inspire before you head out?
I mean, I'm not going to say no. You can only do one, though, you said, right?
I've only got one left.
Yeah, with the song, then yeah, you can definitely get one out. I don't know.
Consistent if nothing else. That's
Yeah.
that's my advantage stealth.
Oh, okay, well, hold on. We'll get to that.
Oh.
I'll let you keep the roll, but wait for me to tell you to roll. Dadrios, what are you doing?
I blessed them already.
Okay.
But other than that, I guess I'm just casting Estrella if she needs anything around base camp, I guess.
Okay. She, as soon as you offer to help, she's like, "Oh yeah!" She like grabs you and she's like, "This needs to be fixed. He needs this. This kid won't take their meds. This, and just like gives you this laundry list and just like, "All right, do that," and just like immediately puts you to work.
Sounds right. But yeah, I'll get working on that then.
You definitely get the vibe. She is not the leader, but definitely seems to be the one keeping this barely held together shit together.
Right.
Slorth and Rygnerik, as you, one of the paladins kind of shows you the way out and gives you kind of instructions on how to get to the water facility and the layout of the roads and what to expect. So you have a general idea in mind and kind of where it is and what to look for. You actually you led out of this basement and up a set of stairs and to a hatch, and one of the paladins kind of stops you and you all kind of listen for a sec at this hatch for anything that seems to be walking around, and he kind of undoes this real heavy looking lock and kind of very cautiously kind of looks over and kind of opens it up. It's like, all right, come on through. And as you step out into almost what looks like a control room. There's a lot of different kind of levers and buttons and pumps and a whole bunch of stuff running that probably takes some kind of dwarvish degree to use properly. And as you kind of step out of this hatch, you can see littered across the ground is just empty boxes and furnitures and animal furs, and just it seems like as much junk as possible has been thrown into this room, and then one of the furs is actually over the trap door, kind of camouflaging the door itself among this junk. And he kind of like, all right, good luck.
I mean, they did give us directions to this.
Yeah.
Place, right?
He explained to you how to get there, and we'll get to that too.
That way.
Yeah, oh, it's over there somewhere. He kind of, before he kind of starts to retreat back into the trapdoor, and he's like, do you have any way to signal us if things go wrong?
Oh, you'll know.
No.
I'm going to be honest, we probably won't. Do you have any way to signal us?
We'll manage once we get a map, or we'll figure something out.
It's like, well, it was very nice meeting you both. It just like goes into the trapdoor and kind of like lets the rug cover it as you go out. You both kind of sneak to the exit of the room, and you have to you make your way out of the room and down another hallway and through another room and through another hallway. Each one kind of like stopping and checking first and kind of sneaking out until you finally make your way to the exit of this building. You kind of very carefully open the door, peek out into the street. Either one of you give me a stealth check with advantage, or both of you roll. Not stealth, I'm sorry, perception.
I can do perception.
Yeah.
Are we going? Is this vision?
Advantage.
Is this vision?
Vision, yes.
Okay.
Are you already a ferret or a weasel?
A weasel, yes.
Okay. So where are you? Just kind of perched on him, or what?
Probably on his shoulder until I get to the hiding. I'm assuming if he's sneaking, I'm going to be like on his foot, so he can make it look like I'm just a rodent crawling. Something smart like that, so I'm not just floating up in the sky.
Okay. Are you invisible, Rygnerik?
I'm definitely invisible. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Just so I know.
26.
Okay. So you peek out the door, and you kind of look left and look right, and you can see there is like a small kind of walkway. It seems to be more of a side door you're in. It doesn't seem to be the main entrance of this building, but you see kind of a couple steps that lead down, and maybe 15 feet away you see a very nicely paved street with just almost OCD level uniform stones that line this street, and it's all like ornately constructed. Like the Elvish city was very fancy in the way that it incorporated nature, especially. This place looks like math was done here. Like this is very specifically built for this way, and everything's exact measurements. Yeah, it is all very well constructed. But it's a very nice street that kind of goes in both directions. You know from your instruction and your vantage point, the main treatment facility is going to be to your right from this door.
It's a monument to engineering.
It really is. It's you can see a couple buildings in front of you. You're not sure what they are. Very dwarvish construction you can recognize. You kind of look to the right. You don't see anything the way you're supposed to head. Look to the left. Kind of lean out a little farther. You can see one of these paladins kind of slowly walking, not facing you. Seems to be kind of at the edge of a curve and almost curving away from you, but kind of. He's got a shield and a spear like the others, kind of giving an eye.
I look up. Ravens.
You glance up. Directly overhead, there does not appear to be any ravens.
Okay.
You can see kind of just looking over the buildings, you can see a few black dots peppered in the sky, but there's nothing immediately over you.
Okay.
Well, let's get going.
Okay.
Yeah. Weep. I go down to his foot so he can do his little rodent shimmy.
I mean, you should go ahead and add your 1d4 from the bless.
Yeah.
You have to use it within a minute, so.
So I'm 35 stealth.
35. All right, Rygnerik, give me yours.
38.
Plus 10? Or you already added it?
I added it.
You have pass without a trace on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, always.
You gotta tell me though. So
I said in the plan that I turned
I know
into a weasel.
it's fine. I'm not scolding you. Just
Gotcha.
I'm making sure for me that I know.
Yeah, pass without a trace is up.
Okay, so silently, without making footsteps, sounds, or any prints in the dirt, you kind of cross over, and you don't make your way to the road. You stick to the shadows of the building. It's midday, so there's not a lot of advantageous shadows to your benefit. But fortunately, one of you is straight up invisible, and the other one is like this big. So you're able to,
Teeny.
yeah, you're able to squish against a building and kind of stealthily make your way with pretty good confidence so far. Rygnerik, what is your movement speed?
25, right?
25.
Yeah.
25? Okay.
25.
So we're going to do this not directly in rounds, but we're going to kind of break it up a little bit to cross the distance. So if you're using the help action, that's going to be your bonus action. So if you use move plus action to move, you can move 50 feet, but if you don't use the help action and move all three because you're a rogue, then you can move 75 feet. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you want me to help you continue to be stealthy?
Well, I mean, are we going to have to make checks every round, or is this one good enough?
This will last you for a little bit. You know, just based on the description of the distance, this building is probably about 3,000 feet away.
I mean, there's like, how doesn't a stealth check usually last like until something else would affect it, or
It lasts as long as I say it lasts. I'm not going to make you make like 40 stealth checks.
I mean, yeah, he can go the three lengths and only like encourage me like as needed or something.
So it will take you
6 minutes.
about that, yeah. Yeah, it'll take you about 6.5 minutes if you're using the full ability to move. So we'll break it up just kind of loosely within that time. So you continue down the street, and it seems pretty clear. You've been walking for maybe about a minute now without too much opposition. Both of you give me another perception check.
You want to just roll it with advantage?
Yeah. 27.
Okay. Kind of peeking around. You get to kind of the corner of one building, and you can see kind of between the buildings down the street. You see another one of the paladins kind of down the way, but he's a bit far off and not facing you anyway, and you kind of slip past him pretty confidently. You go a little further and kind of look ahead of you and kind of stop and press against the wall, and you can see directly in your path, almost identical to the smiling man you saw before you. You see one of these puppets who had previously identified yourself, or previously called himself Mr. Friendly to you, standing as you're facing this way. You see one standing in the road facing kind of perpendicular to you.
He's Mr. Cordial.
Yeah. And even with no one around, you can see he has this kind of weird, creepy, blank smile on his face. What do you want to do?
Sneak around him?
How far down the road is he?
He's probably 100 feet from you right now. It's a pretty straight road, so you're able to spot him before you're like stumbling on him.
And he's facing perpendicular to the path that we want to go.
Yeah. So you would be on his left as he's facing.
Okay. Just in case he can somehow stay invisible, I think I prefer to go around, like, behind him.
Okay. Yeah, the city is open enough. You're definitely able to cross kind of the other side. You get kind of the next street over and kind of look back and forth.
Would it be a feint check if you wanted to like throw a pebble in the opposite direction to grab his attention, or would it be like something else?
It would be a
sleight of hand.
Starts with a D. The lie one.
Deception.
Check. Yes, thank you. My mind farted for a second there. Yeah, it would be a deception check if you wanted to distract him in some way. But as you kind of cross over and approach this next street and kind of still hanging next to the buildings, kind of look both ways, you can see to your left would be the way you're heading. To your right, almost within 10 feet of where you get to the end of the building, you have to kind of like pull back a sec. You see two of these paladins standing there.
They're just standing, not moving around or anything?
Not these two.
Do they seem to be guarding a specific building?
They are both standing on either side of a door to the building you're pressed up against. So you're kind of on the side wall, and then there's the front wall, and they're guarding this door on the front wall.
You snuck around these guys pretty easily before. I'm pretty sure they don't see invis.
Yeah, is there like a window to this building or anything? I'm kind of curious.
There is, but it is on a second story above you on the wall that you're on.
For
parkour.
But I look at you like...
I look up. I don't have a climb speed as a weasel.
I'm not asking how. I'm saying, like, do you mind a little diversion?
If you don't have a climb speed, that just means you're going to have to make an acrobatics check. Climb speed means you can just do it.
Yeah, they don't really have a bonus to acrobatics, is why.
All right, this is athletics. To climb.
Oh. I don't mind the diversion. The fact that they're guarding this building is interesting.
The window, so it's like, what, 20 feet up or something? Second story?
About 10 feet. 10, 15 feet, yeah.
Do they have a view of the window?
Not from their angle, no.
Okay, I'm gonna make my rope go up 10 feet and hook on.
Okay.
And then just climb right in.
So this rope just kind of appears out of nowhere and boink.
Yeah.
Hooks on the window.
And right in and pull it in after me.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you make any checks. You're carrying a weasel and you're good at climbing. It's fine. You get up to the window.
And I have a magical rope.
And you have a magical rope, yeah. The window is locked.
Can we see through it?
Yeah, you can see through it. Peeking inside, you both kind of like, little weasel on the window and Rygnerik kind of peeking in. The room is dark, but there's enough sunlight kind of streaming in, even without any lights inside, you can kind of see in. You can see a series of barrels lining the room.
Okay.
That's about all you can see from your vantage point.
I'm going to try to pick the lock.
Okay. Thieves tool check.
Does that use one of the skills, or is that a dex? Just the dex?
D20 plus dex plus double your proficiency.
Okay. So...
Okay.
27.
So you kind of holding the rope, you set your tools on the little ledge and kind of open them up, and you pull out this kind of real thin shim, and you kind of slide it under the window, and you kind of feel along. You're able to kind of flip this little latch. Okay, put back over. The window is unlocked.
Okay.
Do you want to open it for both of us, or just enough for me to get my peek on?
Yeah, I'll try to open it all the way. Like, I'll be careful. If it starts squeaking, I'll stop or something.
Okay.
I might even I have a flask of oil. I might just oil it slightly. So that it
Sure.
slides open.
You lube up the window before opening, and then slide it open.
Okay, yeah, I'll sneak in, and
I do have dark vision, so I can.
I've got dark vision too. I'm wearing the.
And there's I mean it's the middle of the day. Even without light inside, there's enough natural light streaming in that both of you can see pretty much without problem. Sorry, let me check one thing super quick. I don't have it open, of course not. Come on, damn it.
About how close were we?
We've totally gotten distracted from the goal.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die.
They were guarding this place. It's got to be for a
Nobody will
reason.
ever know what happened to us.
So go ahead.
How close were we in our 6-minute trip towards the thing? Were you like halfway there or not yet?
You're about a minute and a half towards that direction.
We got
barely made it out. Barely made it out the door.
Shiny.
We all know it was a danger.
Sorry. Okay. So you both, especially with Pass Without a Trace on, just kind of land silently in the room. It's definitely some kind of storage, especially up here. You see, like you saw through the windows, there's these almost, they look about the size of wine barrels, but upright, and just like 3 solid rows of these barrels in this room. Slorth. Well, just to save time, I'm going to go with your passive perception rather than try to figure out what your weasels is. But as soon as you land inside, you immediately hear the clink of armor from out front, and the door below, or at least the sound of a door below, open. Followed by chink, 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 chink.
Needed passive perception to hear that one?
Well,
I tap on Rygnerik, or I guess
Rygnerik will hear it in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I tap on him to put at the window like...
Okay, back out the window.
But before we go, I want to get a good whiff as a weasel. I get advantage. I'm trying to see if I could smell what might be in those casks.
Sure. I'm not even going to make you roll, especially since you've been exposed to this smell recently. It smells very similar to the dynamite you recently used. This seems to be some type of blasting powder within these barrels.
Noted.
Y'all go back out the window?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Kind of just a few seconds after you hear the clang, 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 like sound of armor coming upstairs, and then a door across the room burst open, and clang, 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 2 paladins bust in and start looking around. And you hear clank, 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 clank approaching the window. Clank, clank, clank.
I mean, I'm not sticking around to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wrote eat shit in the dust. I'm kidding,
Okay.
I didn't do that.
So you both kind of like, whoop, immediately kind of climb back down, grab the rope, continue on the direction you're heading. Glancing back, both of you can kind of see one of the paladins kind of lean out the window, look up and down the street, kind of inspect the window.
No, we closed the window behind us.
Okay. You see him kind of just look at the rest and eventually kind of disappear.
They must
back
have
in
had
the dark
something
room.
magical detection type spell. Because I can't see any other way they would have known.
You are pretty confident you didn't make any noise, and they seem to alert as soon as the window was opened. Yes.
Alright, noted. For future explosion attempts.
Your pass without a trace requires concentration.
Yeah, but I can maintain it while I'm a critter.
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, as far as detect magic and stuff, but
Oh,
you can't
yeah.
do both.
Yeah, he can't cast as a critter yet, I think.
Yet.
Yeah, yet.
Yeah.
But he can maintain a spell.
By the time I can, I'll be a shiny golden god, so...
Shiny golden god! So y'all continue kind of the same direction you were heading, and kind of... As you get to the cross point where you know that puppet was, you kind of peek around. He still seems to be now facing away from you. Give me another stealth check, both of you. Plus 10 with your pass. Yeah. So you kind of like very cautiously kind of tiptoe past the gap where they were. Doesn't seem to turn around. Kind of continue on. Meanwhile, back in the basement, Astrea. Astrea
Leviosa.
Is kind of
Just make it easier.
while listening to the music, kind of talking with you, Dadrios, and kind of discussing back and forth and asking you kind of where you've been and to fill you in on your adventures and such. And she kind of is like, you get to the point in the conversation where she starts to mention these disturbing dreams she's been having. Do you mention your dreams to her?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, she
I
definitely.
assume they're the same.
They don't seem to be exactly the same. They definitely seem to be more personalized, both to you and to her, but definitely of a very similar nature of this kind of swirling mass of ravens with these tentacles and something coming out of it with a large eye in the middle. And she tells you of another dream that she had. One of the form of Seraviv, and she had this dream recently, actually, where she says she felt like she could see Seraviv trying to break through some kind of veil, but this creature would expand out with this almost ceiling of ravens that would block the light that came through, and then the dream would kind of fade from her, unable to properly reach y'all's deity. It is 9. Do we want to continue, or do we want to call it for the night?
I kind of have to get off around 9ish, so...
Okay, no worries. So we will pick up next week with a couple of our members back in base camp, and a couple menders made an interesting discovery on their way to try to steal this map to possibly get away into the central, or not central, but the main hall of this chamber, where this entity and the lady and who knows who else is trapped.
How many of those barrels were there?
About 15 of them.
These are not like keg size. These are like big size
Yeah,
barrels.
like you can see me, kind of like that.
If I had to guess the size of the boom it would make, like whole building and maybe whole block, or just whole building?
Per barrel or for the whole thing?
I mean, they're all 15 within proximity. Like, if the room goes boom, like, are we talking city block or building?
It would definitely take out that building and probably quite a few of the surrounding buildings.
Okay.
Just from what you saw with how the little bit of dynamite reacted.
Okay.
Alright, guys. And we will pick this up next week. Same technical problems channel, technical problems place.
Alright, guys. Bye.
Alright, guys. Have a good night.
Night, night.